this video we are going to boot up our Raspberry Pi for the first time. Since we have a SD card ready with the operating system Raspberry mounted on it, we will just insert the SD card into the slot of the Raspberry Pi and it will work as the hard drive of the Pi, and then we will require a HDMI cable for the display which is connected to the monitor in the other end and to the HDMI port of the Raspberry Pi in one end, and we will require a USB keyboard, USB mouse and a LAN Ethernet cable for networking. We will also need a power adapter. Make sure the rating of the power adapter is 5 volts and 2 amps, because otherwise the Raspberry Pi will have power issues and will not boot up. Since we have all the things ready, you can also make the Raspberry Pi display into your laptop via a SSH connection, but now I am doing it in a more methodical way in the monitor. So now if we plug in the power supply, the Raspberry Pi will boot up in the screen, and this is all booting up. It will prompt for the login ID at the end. Here it will ask for the login ID. So the default login ID is Pi and password is Raspberry. If you enter it, it will prompt the console out for you. So now to start a graphical user interface or GUI of the Raspberry Pi, you just have to enter the command start X. After you enter it, the Raspberry Pi will appear as the GUI. So this is the GUI of the Raspberry Pi version. There will be this is the LX terminal. Here you will write your scripts. Like if you want to write a Python script, you have to first create a Python script file like this, and here you can write your code. Say we are going to start with the traditional hello world program. There it will print out hello world. So the main feature of Raspberry Pi is that it has got a Python compiler inbuilt, so you do not have to install separately any Python compiler for that, and you can take the tool of the GUI. You will get a file manager where your file system will be set up. Now after logging in, the first things that you should do is go to sudo raspi-config and change the default settings. There the first thing you should do is you should expand your file system. Then you can change your user password using this. Just make sure you put a valid password there except Raspberry, the default one. Then you can change your date and time settings using advanced options, and you can enable your SSH or I2C hosts using these options here, I2C and SSH. So make sure you take a good trip around this GUI and get yourself comfortable with this configuration of Raspberry Pi. After you have done the change in file systems and the change in date and time settings, you have to reboot your Raspberry Pi using sudo reboot command. It will reboot the system, and then you have to log in using your new ID and password. Now again, login ID will remain same Pi, and you have to enter your new password here. Then to start the GUI, again type startx, and you are ready to go with the Raspberry Pi.